Hi students, it's me, Miss Mary, and I'm here for another fun art video with you. While you're all working from home and doing all your schoolwork, hanging out with your family, I know you might be a little bored. So, let's do a great activity today. This is for our students who've been working on their ideas for paintings, but anyone can do this. And this video is brought to you by Art House and Luther Memorial School in partnership with our awesome Urban Bright program. So I'm going to come around the table and get started. Okay, when we were in school, we were talking about creating paintings, and the 3rd and 4th graders came up with a set of rules for the paintings. So you can do this just for fun, or if you're in the 3rd and 4th grade class, follow along closely so you can understand exactly what to make for your drawings that will turn into paintings when we return to school. We have some new vocabulary words today too. The first one is composition. What does that mean? Well, a composition is the way you arrange all of your objects and pictures within your artwork. So if I had a piece of paper, all of my figures or people, all of my plants, animals, buildings, anything within your picture is part of your composition. So I have some nice big paper, and I'm going to start by drawing something that might be what you'd like to do for your composition, but it might make you think a little bit too. Now the 3rd and 4th graders, we do have some rules for your paintings. We are going to mix 12 or more custom colors, and I know you were working on that and did an awesome job. So you'll have at least a dozen colors within your painting. You are going to have at least one geometric shape, at least one organic shape, a figure, and no logos, no superheroes, no cartoon characters, basically no art that anybody already made. That's their special art, and I would love to see what you can do. We're also going to leave out words for this one and let the picture within your composition do all the talking for us and all the storytelling. Alright, so I have my rectangular paper here, and this is just a sketch. You'll be making more than one sketch, and then you can take those ideas and combine them into a new composition that you'd like to paint later. Something to think about is line. Do you have really tiny lines? How will you get a paintbrush in there? Or do you just have really big shapes with not too much information? Is that interesting to look at? Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to use a Sharpie, a permanent marker, so you can see it a little better. And I'll just get started. I'm going to be drawing upside down, which I know I do a lot in class, so let's see how that works here today too. Okay, let's see. I have to have at least one geometric shape. So that could be a square, a circle, a triangle. These are all shapes we talk about in math class, and I don't expect you to just draw some squares, but within your composition, you can choose what might have a geometric shape. We will also have organic shapes. Let's see. I have a rock here, which is shaped like a heart, which is super fun. This is from nature. It has an irregular side here. It's a little bit flat. I have a quartz crystal. This also comes from the earth. This is the most common mineral that we find in the ground. So when you turn it, you can see that it is different on every side. All the little parts of my quartz crystal are different. So within your composition for your painting, you will include some organic shapes, at least one. I have one more example. This is a feather. I found this while hiking. This is from a red-tailed hawk. These are native to Ohio, and you might see them flying above in the sky, and from underneath they have a beautiful set of red feathers for their tail. And this feather here, it's long. It has kind of an oval shape, but again, it's not perfectly an oval, and it has little hairs on the bottom of the feather, and then the tip here that stays in the bird's body is also different from a geometric shape, which would be the same on all the sides. Hey buddy, stop doing that. My kitty wants to join us today, and he's pulling my tablecloth. Okay, so I'll get started with my composition for my maybe painting I'm gonna make. So I have a rectangle. What do you think it'll be? It's a geometric shape. And then I can add another geometric shape, a triangle. Oops, my sides didn't match. That's why we make drawings first, so we can improve them before we do our final painting. So let me just fix that. And then I'll add a little more kind of for the roof here. We can tell this is going to be a house. As I draw, you can see that I'm thinking about my geometric shapes quite a bit with my house. I make a semicircle window upstairs. These are kind of fun. We see these on houses sometimes. All right, and then how about a tree? So trees grow in nature, right? They're not all the same. They're organic shapes. Organic shapes are anything in nature. It could even be the way something moves. For example, I have a ribbon. When we look at it straight, it's kind of like a long rectangle, but when I move it around, we can think about the way the wind blows things, the way our body moves when we dance, the way your hair might blow around in the breeze. So anything like that could be great for your sketch, for your painting. So here's my tree. The base is a little wider. That's the bottom. It has to support the tree, so it's a little wider, and then it gets thinner as we go up. Then I have some branches. I think I will make my tree a winter tree since it's just starting to be spring and we're not really seeing leaves on the trees yet. So we can see some areas between the branches, and this is space. So space is not only what we think of when we think of outer space with the moons and planets, solar system. Space is areas between shapes, and it's also the way we use our composition. Okay, so right now I'm kind of putting things next to each other. They're not really overlapping. Got my tree here. And you can see this is just lines. That's all it is, lines. That's all we need for drawing. Lines make shapes. Shapes make objects. Objects we have in our picture here in our composition. All right, so I have a tree, and you can see these little areas between the branches, like right here. That shape, it's kind of a diamond or a kite shape. That's a geometric shape, but that's also called negative space. There's nothing there. It's just the air. You might see the sun shining through it. You might see the sky through it or something behind it. But this is negative space. Nothing's there. But if we didn't have the negative space, it would just be a blob. So the negative space really helps make our composition look more interesting. If you can look out the window or really go outside, it's starting to be spring, it's getting a little warmer, you'll notice this when you see trees. So you'll see the negative space, and that helps give it that interesting organic shape. I said I would also like to see a figure, more than one, in your composition. So a figure means a person or an animal, basically a body. So how about some kids playing? I know we're supposed to be keeping at least 6 feet apart from each other. So in my drawing here, I will show a couple kids playing, but they're going to keep their space. Here's some grass. Drawing people upside down is hard. An oval for a head. I have a neck. Let's see, got a shoulder there and a t-shirt on. Are you wearing a jacket? I'm still wearing a jacket when I go outside. Alright, so there's one person. How about some hair? Maybe a face. Got an ear, a nose, a mouth. I've got this kid over here. How about the other ones on the other side of the tree? Are they playing hide and seek? I don't know. It's your story. You get to decide. Do you notice how I'm drawing this quickly? It doesn't have to be perfect. These are just ideas. We're not filling in the details. I'm not going to color in the hair or the clothes, none of that. I'm just making my ideas right now. Oops, I thought I lost you there for a second. I couldn't see the screen. Technology, right? Okay, so I have my kids playing, but this child, we lost their legs. Where are they? Maybe I didn't use my space so well. I didn't think about where she needs to be within my composition. So this figure is cut off a little bit while this one is standing right here. So that's something to think about. How are we using our space? The room we have on our paper, the way we're laying out our picture makes up the composition. And a sun. Do you think it's okay to have a corner sun in 3rd and 4th grade? No way. Let's do better than that. The sun doesn't live in the corner. You can show it the full sun. You can use colors that you'll be mixing later on, your 12 or more custom colors, and you can create a sun. Let's not do corner suns, okay guys? We can do so much better than that. All right, so this is my first sketch for my painting. I used organic shapes for the tree and for the children. I used geometric shapes for the house, and even my corner sun is a semicircle, so those are geometric shapes. I didn't use any words. I didn't include anybody else's logos or cartoons that somebody else drew before, so I'm following all of the rules we came up with so far. But this isn't really the most interesting composition. Everything is just sort of side by side. It's like in a row. Like if you were lining up for class, you're all in a row. So everything on here is a row. I have a lot of room, a lot of space that I did not use. So I thought about it and I created another one a little bit ago. Okay. Let me take my organic and geometric shapes off of here. How about this one? They have the same two figures. I have a full sun, I have a house, I have some grass, but there's a lot more going on. So let me take these ideas and add them a little bit to my composition, okay? We need something in the background, behind them. If you go outside, you're not only going to see your house and a tree, you'll see all kinds of other things going on in your yard, your neighbors, whatever's happening around your home. Or if you choose to draw something totally different, please do, enjoy. You could draw fantasy characters. You could think about space and really make them in space with the planets, maybe a spaceship, some shooting stars. But there's so much happening around it. They're not all in a line. So that's what I thought about with my other drawing. You can see the two kids playing. One is more in the foreground, that's the front. One's more in the background, the back. So I made this person smaller because they're farther away. They're also throwing a ball. So we have some action, we have some activity, some movement. Movement is great. It helps move our eye through the space in our composition. I have a full sun. I have some big hills. We can imagine the children playing on the hills, climbing. I have a bird up in a tree in a nest. It might be a little bit hard to see, but you can add that if you wanted to do something like this. But I want to see what you can do. Your drawings, your compositions for your upcoming paintings should be unique. So let's follow the rules. Have a figure, one or more, geometric shapes, organic shapes. Really think about your space. How are you using your space? I think this would make a much more interesting painting than this composition. Don't you? I think so. And remember, you'll be using paint brushes, so they're bigger than the tip of a marker or a pencil or a crayon. Whatever you have to draw with at home is fine. If you have pens, you can use those too. Any kind of paper, use what you have. You might even, you might think about recycling. If you ran out of paper, you could use the inside of a cereal box, a paper plate. Whatever you have is totally fine. These are interesting times we're having. We're learning from home, and I think this is a good way for us to learn to use new and different art materials too. So maybe go on a little scavenger hunt outside or inside your house. Find some organic and geometric shapes. Look at colors. Think about how you would mix those colors. For example, this tablecloth here, it's maybe fuchsia or magenta. It's kind of a pinky purple. How would we mix this? So we know that to mix purple, we do red plus blue and that will make us purple. This is a little bit brighter, so we might add a little bit of white to it. Kind of test that out and see how that works. This looks more pink than purple to me, so that tells me it would need more red or blue. What do you think? Do we need more red to make pink or more blue to make pink? More red, that's right. So red and white makes pink. So you are going to be kind of thinking about that as you make your composition. All right, I hope you enjoy this video, and I would love to see what you create. You can email those to me if you get the printouts from Art House through Mr. Beckman at Luther, and I can't wait to see what you've created. We're gonna paint when we go back to school. So think about these rules, but don't worry. I want you to be creative, use your imagination, and really tell a story through your composition within your painting. This video, again, is brought to you by Art House. We're in partnership with your school, Luther Memorial, and this is the Urban Bright program. I can't wait to see everybody. I hope you're all doing really well, you're happy, and you're healthy. And feel free to share this video with your family members, brothers and sisters of all ages. This is a fun way to pass the time and improve your drawing skills. Thanks so much and have a great day, everybody.